Hello, it's Ben Cooper here from Germans Wellington Alkel, and I'm going to be talking to you today about the reports that we will be giving you during Parents' Evening this week. So here is an example of one of the reports that you will have received, and they're very similar to last year's. So if we take a closer look, you can see it's from Germans Wellington Alkel, and it talks about the POS. POS stands for Programme of Study, and it basically tells you the year in which your child is working at. Now, for most children, they will be working at the same POS as the year that they are in. So, for example, if a child is in year 4, they should be working at POS 4. Now, underneath, it splits it into subjects. So we've got reading, and on the next page, we have writing and mathematics. And underneath those subjects are all the objectives that your child needs to learn over the whole year. So it doesn't just share what they've been taught so far, it shares all the things that they need to be taught over the full year. And then it colour codes these objectives to tell you, as a parent, how well your child is doing against each objective. Now, we're only in term 1, so it's perfectly normal for children to not be secure or have fully understood many objectives yet, as they will be continually covered over the year. By the end of the year, we expect most children to have secured or be very confident in the majority of the objectives. So let's have a look at reading, for example, for this child. We have one objective that has been taught and understood, but we have lots of objectives that the child is showing signs of understanding but not yet fully grasped. And underneath we have some entering objectives where the child has started to learn about these objectives but they've not fully understood them yet. And then of course underneath we also have objectives that have not been taught yet, and so the child will not understand them because they've not been covered in lessons. However, they will be covered over term 2 or term 3 so that by the end of the year all the objectives will be colour coded and most of them should be green. If I was to flick over to writing, you'll actually see that this child is working at one of the objectives at greater depth. So it says taught and working at greater depth. So this shows that this child is actually working above average in terms of this skill. And again, underneath we have some green, a lot of orange, a lot of red, and indeed some that haven't been taught yet. And I'll flick over again to mathematics. Again, you've got 2 objectives that the child is working at a greater depth with. But underneath we have lots that they are securing, but again, lots that they are still working on. They've been taught, but are showing signs of understanding, but not fully grasped. To help you, we've also created a report colours explain sheet, which gives you a bit of extra understanding of what each colour means. So if we were to start from the bottom, the grey, of course, says not taught, or the pupil was absent. So it says this objective will be taught later in the year, and all objectives will be covered by the end of term 3. So it's perfectly normal for reports to show objectives that haven't been taught yet, but it's really useful for you to know what the teachers will be teaching later in the year, but also you can support your child at home ready for these objectives so that when they are taught in school, they've got a bit of a head start. Red objectives, of course, mean that a child has been taught but has not understood yet. So this child we would describe as entering that objective. Again, yellow or orange talks about the idea of an objective being taught and the child is showing sign of understanding. So we describe this child as developing. That means that they're beginning to show independence and they require less support, but they will continue to learn that objective over the year, so that by the end of the year, they are hopefully going to be green. And green means that they've been taught that objective and they understand it. So we would refer to that objective as being securing. That means they can do it independently and complete focus activities. And again, we will give the child a chance to continue to develop that understanding so that they could maybe working at a greater depth for that objective. And that way, we would be able to describe that child as mastering that objective. And that means that he or she can successfully apply and use their learning in different ways. So hopefully this key will help you understand what the reports mean. So those are all the pieces of information that you will receive at Parents' Evening this week. The reports are really detailed in exactly what your child is learning, how well they've learnt it, and what they're going to be learning later on in the year. All the objectives for maths, English and science will be presented to you, so you know exactly what you can do to support your child at home. The Cat 4 reports Also share to you as a parent how your child likes to learn and what type of activities your child prefers to take part in. And of course, our key helps you understand exactly how we assess in school. So hopefully this information is going to be really useful for you at home to support your child, and will give you all the information you need to understanding exactly how well your child is performing currently. I hope this video has been useful. Have a really good day.